Dr. Didi, you mentioned about the magic of Ayurveda in the Mahabharat era in your last book, Shackles of Warrior. Does it have a part to play in the Indus challenge as well?
Yes, Hemal, this Indian mythology is replete with quite a lot of instances, medical miracles of what we know today. Take, for example, Lord Ganesh. Now you have elephant's face fitted onto a human body. Today we are talking about the transplantation of limbs, etc., which is something which we know of even from the mythology. This is one such example. Now you have several other examples. You have in Mahabharata you have Gandhari, who is conceived 100 sons, not by the natural form, but by way of today's modern test tube baby kind of a situation, was narrated over there. Then you have another instance, there is a live telecast of the entire Mahabharata war by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra. It was a kind of a live telecast. So now we talk about organ transplantation, we talk about live telecast, we talk about test tube baby, all are there in the Indian mythology. Now, while coming to the history, there are several such examples. One such example that occurred in 300 BC is about the king Bindusara, how he was born. Maybe Paddy could enlighten me more on this.
See, I mean, Chandragupta was very successful king. Now he defeated a lot of these small kings, and he created and stitched together his mighty empire. But then obviously if you have killed so many kings and if you have had a war, you are creating enemies. And the enemies were always on the lookout for trying to kill Chandragupta himself. So what were the usual ways by which you can kill a king? You could, ambush him during his travels. You could actually start a war, or you could actually have some courtesan come and kill him. Or the most popular during those times was use of poison.
Okay.
So he was always surrounded by a good security team. He had a great security team. Chanakya was not only a good strategist or a good strategist, but he was also a good tactician as well. So he had a great security team. Any person who wants to come and meet used to be vetted, used to be searched, frisked, all of his travel routes sanitized before. So these sort of precautions were being done. But how do you protect your emperor from that one drop of poison, or that one dart which might come, or some slip of hand which might poison his food? So the person like Chanakya, he was a far-sighted person. Right since the time Chandragupta came under his tutelage when he was a small kid, from that time onwards, poison in minute doses used to be administered to Chandragupta. So what happened is that over the number of years that he was with Chanakya, he actually developed an immunity for the poison. Okay. So this arrangement was not known to many people. It was kept very secret between just a few of them. Not even Chandragupta's wife knew that this guy is actually having poison food every night. And then when she was in an advanced stage of pregnancy, she suddenly came across and saw some food which was actually supposed to be consumed by Chandragupta, but then she had it and it was poisoned food. And what happened next, I would have Dr. DD narrate you.
Yeah, well narrated, Paddy. Now, after that, what happened is quite interesting. Chanakya was facing a situation where the queen, in the advanced stage of pregnancy, had just taken the poison food. She was about to die. Now, to save the queen or to save the child, which can be the potential ruler, the person who is going to take forward the dynasty, so that was the call that Chanakya had to take on the spur of the moment. So he took a call in favor of the dynasty extension. So which means he had to do, he had to open the stomach and take the baby out. In the process, the mother died, and the child, which is supposed to be a son, was born. Because of this poisoned blood, it hit his forehead. There is a kind of a bindi in his forehead. That's why the king Chandragupta's son, who later became the king, is called Bindusara. It was supposed to be the first recorded caesarean operations in the history. I talked about the mythology earlier. This is the first recorded caesarean operation in the history. So
Dr. DD, that only increases my list of questions. Like, what happened? What happened with after the death of the queen? How did that affect Chandragupta? Who replaced the queen? What happened to the empire and his friends? How did this affect Chanakya and the relationship? Like, the questions sort of increase with all these mysteries that are being unveiled.
yeah, as usual, my reply is same. But one thing I can tell you, the Indus challenge answers all your questions. It will be a kind of a page turner. I guarantee you, from cover to cover, you will finish it at one single go. So the questions you have asked are so many, which we have answered. So I think you will complete it at one single go. That's my guarantee I can give you. Please grab the Indus challenge.
And I'll definitely read it.